You'd best stay out of my way. He's a dangerous man, and he'll stop at nothing to bring ruin to Whitestone. Luckily, the mayor knows how to deal with crooks like Scoria. Miners. And they used to make a good living too, back when Modus Mining had its teeth in Apatia. When Modus pulled out, the money dried up. Now most of them are criminals. A nasty lot. The Zungars are the worst. The Darkvari and the Sinrig know Liana's dance as well. There's plenty of them. Just ask Kara, or walk a few paces out of Whitestone in any direction. Sometimes they even come into town. A few weeks ago, I caught a bandit trying to slip into the mayor's window. Fool. He's been locked up in a cage ever since. As an example. Simpesta Liana was first sworn. They called her the Desert Runner, and you do well to learn her ways out here. He's not from around here. A city boy born and raised in Myria. Came to seek fortune, but landed in Apatia right when Modus Mining caught their losses. You'd think he'd wither in this desert, but it was his idea to bring in the mercenaries. With Mayor Eswin in Whitestone, we have a fighting chance. People call it Bone Town because of the pale rocks jutting up from the sand. And because of the death rate. Hey there! Don't kill me, please! Just a little Whitestone humor for you. Maybe it's not for everybody. My name's Varric Dunbert, and my trade's selling. We get a quirky collection of goods in town these days. You're welcome to it. Oh, don't you break into a sweat over the Sinriks and the Zungars. Good people. At least they were back in the days of the cart and shovel. Now they make their living with the sword. Can't say I blame them. Not after what the gnomes did to us. Honestly? Well, I'm not sure what to make of that one. He's certainly got clean hands for someone in Apatia. Rumor has it he's city-bred. Have you seen his cottage? It has more rooms than a flophouse. Some say they're not criminals, despite the mayor's proclamations. I'll refrain from judging. You're right, I see pretty much everything and everyone that comes in and out of Whitestone. And we do get our share of eccentric visitors. Just the other day I noticed a real sorrowful-looking Alfar lurking around the tavern. I don't mind them. In fact, think Mitharu, that sun camp, is just down the road. Without their merchants, the people of Whitestone would starve to death. We don't get many supplies from the city, and there's no work to be done in trade. Honest thieves, one man's opinion. See you soon.
Good day. You're probably wondering what I'm doing here. Well, if you're fond of a good story, lend me your ear. I won't disappoint. I'll try to keep it short, even though I've got all the time in the world for embellishment. Sinriks, Darkvari, Zungars, and Scorias, all bastards. Not half as bad as these guards. They can't catch all of us, we can't kill all of them. I am no one of consequence, something the guards in Whitestone failed to realize. However, if you ask my father, he'd take my side. I'm a complete disappointment. Look, I'm in a cage in the middle of this town. What do you want me to say? I'm not really in a good position to talk about it right now. What did I do? Nothing. I just happened to bear the name Darkvari, a crimen upper-tier in these trying times. The mayor's blade seized me at the gates of Odessa. Here's the trick of it. I was leaving home, slipping free of my familial bondage. I'm no thug. I am guilty of but one crime only. Stealing a girl's heart. Her name is Hrindi Zungar. And at this very moment she waits for me with no word of my whereabouts. Please, stranger, will you help me? She is the sun that comes to warm me every morning. We met a short time ago, mere weeks, but true love has no memory of time. Yes, Zungars and Darkvari aren't exactly kin. In fact, they're sworn enemies and rivals. Imagine how powerful they'd be if they shared blood instead of spilled it. I knew I liked you. From the moment I laid eyes on you through these enormous... Getting the key won't be easy. Bjorn, the head of their mercenaries, carries it on his person. I wouldn't want to be the one who has to rifle through his pockets. I care not for stale poison. I doubt the Zungars and Darkvari even know why they're angry. It's an old hatred, old as the red stone. Hrindi and I want none of it. I've promised to rescue Hrindi from her family's life of corruption. She deserves more than a shack along the snake tail. She deserves Sky Blossom, whispers. I've been in this cage for weeks, but Hrindi will wait. We swore an oath to each other. Bjorn's men are ridiculously loyal. Try to catch him alone, out of the friendly eye. If you don't, our little agreement will end up rather...
Oh, look what the dust brought in. Hello.
Stand right there. Let me take a look at you. Filthy, weary, lonely, but special, that's for certain. We don't see folks like you in Whitestone very often. I'm Mayor Eswin Elfhelm, and I'm the closest thing to a friend you've got around here. This little town was the heart of the boom, the engine that drove the rise of Odessa. But in business, every boom is followed by the eventual bust. The gnomes moved out. With the gnomes went the gold, and with the gold went the jobs. Whitestone has been a shell of itself since. But I seek to change all that. Liars, thieves, and scum. Let's hope they never take control of Apotir. Terrenium. It's the only reason the gnomes ever graced it here with their presence. Normally they'd find the climate too dry. They like their beards curly. Motus Mining settled Whitestone, built all the mines and relocated the families. Once they'd taken what they came for, they vanished almost overnight. Disgraceful. My given name is Eswin Elfhelm, but people around here call me Mayor Eswin. They're simple people. That's why I like them. I grew up in the old main city of Myria, west of here. I'd never worked a full day in my life. I'm certainly making up for it now. I sleep 1-2 hours a night. Once the Terrenium ran out, they moved on. Gnomes don't care for the welfare of other races. They're hoping we'll kill each other off, save them the trouble. There are 4 mining families. The Darkvari, the Sinriks, Zungars, and the Scorias. When the gnomes departed, so did the jobs. There was nothing for the miners left behind. Starvation, desperation, well, they change people. Most of the miners in Apotir kept their sanity, even when they lost everything else. But the others, they turned to banditry. The usual: theft, kidnapping, murder. You'd best stick close to Whitestone. You're an easy target. My home. A lifetime ago, it seems. The port was nice. The smell of fish near the harbor was offensive. You'd have a hard time finding anything that resembles Myria here in Detir. It would take quite a bit to convince me the Zongars weren't criminals from the start. It's probably no surprise the worst miners of Apotir make the best brigands. The Darkvari were hit hardest by Modus's relocation. The young men and women watched the elders and children waste away. Now they're all that's left. Sad story, isn't it? Doesn't excuse their lawlessness. The Sinrig boys think this is a game. They're laughing now, but we'll see how they like the taste of their own ruthlessness. They're the second oldest family in Apotir, and they're headed for a prison, or the graveyard. An obstacle in the way of progress. The old man still believes that Apotir could come back from its decline by force of will. Typical of a miner. Keeps digging away. Some call it war. I call it survival. The Modus mining interest left an empty throne when it abandoned Apotir, and now everyone wants that power. The people here, the decent, honest, hard-working people of Apotir, have been through enough. Starvation, humiliation. They needed a leader, one who cares. My goals are simple: to stop the warring in Whitestone, and to rescue it from the brink of extinction. And you can help me. What do you say? Partners? I like you. You're not a fool. Want to know what you're getting into? Well, I think big, but I'm smart enough to start small. I need a person who can do both. I want you to acquire something for me. Something that rightfully belongs to me. There's a man named Adath Scoria, patriarch of the most prominent mining family in Apotir. Months ago, I bought his family mine. It wasn't cheap. Now Adath refuses to surrender the property. In fact, he's gone into hiding and won't meet with me. I need you to acquire what is legally mine. The deed to his claim. Modus Mining stored all the records in its old headquarters east of the village. But the building has long since been overrun. Get that deed, and we're in business. Probably in that relic of a building that was once Motus headquarters. now a haven for thugs and criminals, near the cemetery to the east.
Stranger. Beyond that, Sungar family's vicious.
A stranger, not a laborer by your main. An adventurer. Deserter, maybe. Gaze does not suggest you've seen war. What is needed? This city is built around a single priority. The preservation of knowledge. That, above all else, must be upheld. My time with Mortis Mining left me the wiser in terms of potion craft. Most of my spare time is spent experimenting with new reagent combinations. Can't say I blame them for seeking richer veins. It's rather disappointing that they don't deem it necessary to maintain my offices, however. I dare not taste many of these potions on myself. You are welcome to buy some off me if you wish. Goodbye.
What is it? Can't you see I'm busy? If you're from the village, you can tell Mayor Eswin that I'm not interested in any other deals he may wish to offer. This discovery belongs to everyone, and it will not be used to further one man's agenda. I will carry the shame of what happened here to my grave, but I will speak no more of it. My every breath is given to rectifying the mistakes that were made. It is not the only mining concern in Edessa, but it is the only one that matters. Our efficiency is legendary, as is our disregard for human life. I was a scholar from Otis mining interests, one of 6. 4 of the others died from exposure to poisonous fumes. And the last, he took his own life in the snaketail, filled his pockets with terinium and sunk like a stone. Now it's just Guyan and me, working as we did ages ago in training. It's not a bad life, although the rat meat leaves one wanting. My closest confidant, one who enjoys investigating the world's darker mysteries. He's downstairs. I let him start a laboratory there after they ejected him from Edessa. You mean you're not with that fool Alfhelm? Well, if that be true, then this meeting could be an opportunity for both of us. Tell me, have you ever heard of Culminite? Of course you haven't, because, you see, I discovered it. It is a new ore, one that has the potential to be the most valuable resource ever discovered in this region. Think of what would happen if I could prove it was plentiful here. Motus would reopen the mines, jobs would return to Whitestone. Apatir would live again! I am a man of science. The little progress I ever make is done here, at the workbench. I need someone swift and resourceful to walk the world for me. Scour Apatir. Search the deepest mines in every abandoned dig. I am confident there are Culminite deposits to be found. I have faith in you, friend. My research suggests that the veins run beneath all of Apatir, so I would search the mines. Of course, you're the one who would confirm whether my research is accurate. Goodbye.
Desert Runner stopped. She had never heard Rattlesnake speak before. His voice was a slow, nasty hiss, and that greatly disturbed Desert Runner. Please, Desert Runner. My voice is harsh, and yours is so pretty. You are so fast and so much braver than me. Can you bring me a voice like yours? Desert Runner thought for a moment and then said, I will lend you some of my voice and put it in your tail. That is why the rattlesnake clicks.
Over. Hello there. Normally I'd be seeking help with some of our mercenary contracts, but it looks like you've collected all of them already. I'll leave you to your work then. The Zungars killed the first group of mercenaries that Eswin hired. Raided Whitestone the very next day. We've held them off for a while now, but they're tough, even for Warsworn. I don't know much about it. Mayor Eswin brought me and Bjorn down first, out of Ironfast Keep. The pay is weak, but so is the enemy. If I were you, I'd stay in town, avoid the wastes. The desert is crawling with kobolds, and just about every human you find out there is going to want a piece of you. You'll have to talk to Mayor Eswin about the Scorias. He asked us to focus on the other families first. Ah, so you've been talking to Bjorn, have you? I'm not that interested in the Warsworn stories. I much prefer the pay. The Darkbari are a miserable lot, but don't let the rags and rusty daggers fool you. What they lack in skill, they make up for in brute force. The Sinriks are handsome boys, despite their ways. They always give me a smile from afar, too scared to get close. The Bone Wall is where we post bounties and contracts. I'm sure you can guess how it got its name. Not a weakling in the bunch. Every one of them with a thirst for combat. They'd kill you for a single coin. In a way, it's almost impressive. The Zungars are the worst, but the Darkbari and Sinriks aren't much better. Don't worry about the Scorias. They're everywhere, but harmless, like roaches. It's sad. I think Sinrik once had a heart for me, until I lopped off 2 of his fingers. You did the right thing. Here's your pay. So long.
I'm at your service. Friend. Take a look at the merchandise and let me know. See you soon.
Good day.
You'd best stay out of my way. They're no better than the rest of these savages. Don't let the righteousness fool you. Everyone in Whitestone is out for one person. Himself.
bird turned to leave, but again Rattlesnake stopped her. I'm sorry to trouble you again, Desert Runner, but your patterns are so beautiful and my scales are plain. Can you bring me a pattern like yours? I will paint on your back with my feet, Desert Runner said. That's why Rattlesnake was decorated with diamonds.
What are you looking at?
Things in Whitestone are looking up. We're getting a handle on these outlaws. Believe me. Not bad. The Dark Bari aren't icy killers like the Zungar, but they can handle their own, as can you. Here's your pay. Impressive. You know how to get the job done. We could use more like you. Of course, with the Zungars gone, our fight may soon be over. Here's your pay. So long.
Third time the bird prepared to leave. Desert Runner, you have helped me so much, and I thank you. But I still need one thing. You are a skilled hunter, and I am always hungry. You never use your wings to fly. Let me have them so I can hunt like you. Desert Runner said, I have given you my voice and gilded you with my labors. Now you would take my wings and take my freedom too? You ask too much of me, Rattlesnake. I will not help you any longer. Rattlesnake grew so angry that poison filled his mouth. He lunged at Desert Runner, but the bird was too fast. Rattlesnake cried after him, I will seek your nest, Desert Runner. I cannot kill you, but you cannot save all of your children. That's why Desert Runner searches for Rattlesnake. Answers.
What do you want? I don't know you, and you don't look scoria, so you'd best be on your way. I remember them from the booming days, when we all worked together to bring up the Terrenium. Now everyone but us has turned to the sword for work. This mine is ours, so long as the Terrenium remains. Those are the terms of the deed. He can talk to Motor's mining interests in Hollowlands if he wishes to dispute it. Yes, I'm a scoria, one in a long line of miners and laborers. It isn't the most respected line of work, but where would the world be without us? A den of thieves and corruption, that's what the village has become. Travelers to the east, mercenaries prowling the streets, starving men in the mines. It's a disaster. Whitestone is not worth your time, friend. It'll bleed the life right out of you. Go on, get lost. This mine is private property.
Teach this one.
Suffered the winter's onslaught. They collided amidst lightning and fire, and a godstorm gathered up the land in its embrace, crushing it. Do you remember the steady rain? The hail of bodies, both wintry and warm? It was a sword carving the plains with death.
I'm at your service, friend. Take a look at the merchandise. See you soon.
Good day. Well done. I was worried the Zangar boys might give you a bit of trouble. I was right about you. I have an eye for promise, you know. Prospecting, as the locals would call it. I've noticed your weapons. I assume you know how to use them? It's a pity, but the only way to clean up Whitestone will be to get them dirty. We've received news that Adath Scoria might be hiding out with the Sinric family in their old Terrenium quarry. Get down there and take a look. See what you can see. It's the processing facility for all ore leaving Apotir. The Gnomes built it soon after they completed their headquarters. The Sinric family has run it ever since. The quarry is very near, and the canyon to the south. It's the most important facility in Apotir. Not a piece of ore can be refined without it. It's a pity the Sinric family won't let anyone inside.
Stranger.
down here. You'd think the Cynrics would be enough to keep anyone away.
Before the recent ordeal, Whitestone was more than a village. It was a community. We cared for one another. We worked through our challenges together. I remember when my uncles brought me to see it for the first time. Not long after the gnomes hired Papa Kester to be the first of our foremen. I found it beautiful. We have mined it for decades. No new mayor is going to take from us what has been earned through sweat and heartache. What has that snake told you? That I sold him Scoria Mine? I would never do such a thing. Just because he lives in the mayor's house doesn't mean he's a man of honor. Came here 6 months ago saying he was going to revitalize Whitestone. Ever since, my people have been captured or killed by his marauding hired swords.
Yes, I know what you're thinking. What am I doing here? You should try living in a village where the mayor wants you dead.
The miners of Apotir know Cynric Quarry well. It's a second home to most of us, where we once extracted Tyrenium and exported it to Odessa.
While I don't agree with what the Cynrics are doing to survive, I do respect their refusal to back down.
I was born and raised in these shafts and tunnels. The gnomes gave my people hope, only to turn their backs on us in our time of greatest need. We have no leaders here. We are a family. I speak for the miners of Scoria only because I'm tired of the treatment and I care not if I live or die. To the fires with the Darkvari, the Cynrics, and the Zungars. They chose their paths as we did Scoria's. There is still such a thing as pride, as dignity.
An agent of that snake Eswin, no doubt. You're not the first one he sent to scare me from my mine. I'll tell you what I've told the rest. That claim is Scoria property. You can kill me, but it won't matter. Politicians come and go, they follow the money. But a man protecting his land will never leave it. You tell him that. If you wish to do the right thing, and there is a right thing, meet me later. I'll be staying with allies in Whitestone. It's the last place Eswin would look. Together you and I can save Apotir. I'm in hiding from Eswin's hired swords. Men and women like you. But I can see that you're a reasonable person.
Yeah?
You'd best stay out of my way. You like the what? You like the cage key. Oh, you think so too, eh? The mayor had me do that, to set an example and keep the families in line. Steg's a good kid. A foolhardy romantic, but good. Listen, if you can get him out of here without being seen, I'll turn my back and pretend this conversation never happened. You got me?
Well done. Now, you've done me this one favor. Let's finish what... First, I need to fetch the item that will finance our new life in Odessa. Our nest. Then I need you to find Hrindi and bring her to me at our old meeting place in Snaketail Canyon. Please, you must do this for me.
Hello. You don't know me, but I've been following you. My name's Hrindi. That parchment you carry, it belongs to me, as Steg always meant it to be a wedding gift. Now, if you please, hand it over. You heard it right. There's no love lost between the families of Darkvari and Zungar. But show me a close family in Apatir, and I'll show you a gnome with a conscience. What about him? I've met hundreds of men more to my liking. Only, those men didn't have what Steg possesses, the Darkvari map. Once I learned Steg had it, I knew I had to act. I was willing to do anything, even marry the idiot. That's right, the fabled treasure map of the Darkvari family. With it, I can build a new life, shed my Zungar name, and start all over again. Don't ever speak my name aloud. I hate hearing it. Zungar. It's the sound of retching, of a man's skull cracking beneath a blow. Every time I hear it, I cringe. Soon I will have a new name to go with my new life. If you believe that, then you're as thick as he is. You cannot begin to imagine what I've had to endure to reach this point. Wooing that fool fool, making false promises. I would die for that parchment, and I will kill for it.
Hey there. I'm at your service, friend. Take a look at the merchandise and let me know it. See you soon. Hello.
You haven't laid eyes on Hrindi, have you? She is bright, graceful, like an oasis on a summer's day. I was sure she would be here. She said the stars themselves wouldn't wait as long as she would. They're not as bad as some think, but worse than you'd imagine. You mean Bone Town? Not my favorite place in the world, if you couldn't tell. If the heat... What do you mean she's gone? Was her fear too great? Did she choose to stay behind? I had a feeling this would happen. In the end, I couldn't make her happy. That is a lie. You can keep the parchment. It is a map drafted by my grandfather. It reveals the locations of all Darkvari hordes in Apatir. I don't want it. Not anymore. What good is wealth if the one you meant to share it with is gone? What good is it?
Off to work. Well, you wouldn't return unless you had something to tell me, am I right? So rude. I should have expected that. I don't think you understand. The days of the family mines are over. A new order has come to Apotir. The Darkvari, Sinrix, and the Zongas. I will deal with them in time. But the Scories, they are different. They have the people's respect, and that is powerful. Listen to me carefully. If you walk away from this, from me, you will no longer be welcome in Whitestone. So tell me, friend, are we still partners? Do you have any choice? You just wait. Without me, without Whitestone, Apotir will continue to dry up like the husk it's become. But we can reorganize all the claims under single ownership. Mine. And work with the gnomes to get the ore flowing again. Prosperity will return, and with it, the people. I had a feeling you'd stick around. Tough times call for tough choice. The deed to Scoria Mine gives me ownership of all ore discovered inside its many shafts. That vein is still active, and I need proof. Get inside Scoria and obtain a sample. Scoria Mine is not far from here, but don't expect to walk in unmolested. My report's in...
What are you looking at?
I'm reluctant to ask who you are. You see, we've had many visitors lately, and every one of them has meant us harm. I am Thelgood Scoria, and this is my mine. A den of thieves and corruption. That's what the village has become. Whitestone is not worth your time, friend. It'll this mine is ours, so long as the terrenium remains. This mine is Scoria-owned and operated, and I'm not about to let some scraggly pit pony go out saying it. Besides, we've had to shut down operations on account of the beasties, not the ones outside. These are new. A few days ago in the stope, we struck something. What came out of that hole was nothing like I'd seen. Killed most of my men. Now we can't go down there, and neither can you. So turn around and start walking. You know Adav? Well, you look like the kind of person he'd drag into the middle of this. Desperate. Well, it's your choice. Have a... I'm impressed. No one else has returned since... well, let's just say you're the first back from a mine. It's been in our family for 2 generations, since the gnomes brought us down here to Apatir to build Edessa. I'm the elder foreman of Scoria Mine. I used to work the caves of Erethel, but my
It is done. Now I have the ore sample and the deed to Scoria Mine. The gears are in motion. It's only a matter of time till all of Apotir falls under my control. One task remains. A task that I've put off for too long. I must make it quick, make it painless. I should ask you that question, friend. You were the last person to see him, not me.
Look what the dust brought in.
Hello. I'm at your service, friend. Take a look. What can I say? No one from the outside can understand what we've been through. With the gnomes and now the mayor. It's time for the people of Whitestone to forge their own destiny. He's nothing more than a bully and a tyrant. Burn the mayor and his selfish claims to... Come again.
Enough with the games. What does Eswin want with me?
Stay out of trouble. Weapons away. Move along.
I'm at your service, friend. Take a look at the merchandise and let me know what you... Come again.
Be on your guard.
One day I may regret Nadin's death, but not this day. This is the first day in the future of Apotir. Thanks to you, there will be order again. Prosperity. Yes, not everyone could survive to see this day. But sacrifices needed to be made. They always do. Please, take this gold and this sword. It will protect you on your journey, wherever it may take you. You will always be welcome in Whitestone.